So, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning class. How are you guys doing today? Shafiq, are you doing well?
I'm fine, sir.
Iman, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
Oh, alright, that's good for me.
So, sir, what are we going to learn today?
Today, I want to teach you about language acquisition and language learning. Language acquisition is a process where a small child, normally 2 until 3 years, gain his or her first language by the interaction with other language users in order to bring the general language capacity into contact with other particular language such as English. To make you guys clear, language acquisition happen like this.
Like what, sir?
Like this.
Sir?
Papa, can I ask a favor, please?
Yes, my son. What you want?
Can I bring my friend tomorrow?
You want to bring those children to our house?
Yes, Papa.
Keep the house clean, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, Papa. Hello, guys. It's here. Papa. My friend's here.
Oh. Welcome home, my son. Please let them in. So, Amma, how's your studies?
Excellent. Fourth.
Alright. So, Iman, how are you doing?
I'm just doing fine.
Oh, alright. That's good for me. That's good also for my son.
Papa,
Yes, my son.
I want to play with childrens.
You mean children?
Yes, childrens.
So, how is language acquisition related to that scene? Why is the boy use children's instead of children? Language acquisition is a process whereby an individual learns to understand, speak and interpret a message. So, from that scene, we can see that the boy understands that he needs to put the letter S at the end of every plural words. Oh, so that's why the boy said children's instead of children. The right word is child for singular and children for plural.
An environment with an adequate context that will enable to acquire the language in the most efficient way. For example, the way children learn how to communicate or speak. A child learns in a subconscious way without thinking of grammatical rules. They may be entirely understood because the importance is on the text of communication, not on the form of communication.
Here is a process when something is gained through efforts or a natural flow.
Assalamualaikum. So today I'm going to interview this one sister who used to live in America. Fatima, where are you from?
I am from Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur, but specifically in Gambang,
At what age you moved to Virginia?
Virginia, at the age of 9 years old. Yeah, at the age of 9 years old. It was like in 3rd grade, but it was almost 4th grade, so it was like 9 and a half or something.
So how long did you stay there?
4 years. 4 years. Yeah. So from 2010 until 2014. Wait, no, 2013.
How long did it take for you to get used to the accent there?
Well, when I started to go to America, like the environment there was like all English. So at first I didn't understand a thing, but like the first phase was I started talking to my brother, and then after that we started school. I started talking to my brother. We just like practice, like so. Let's go practice some English before we start school, because then we watch like TVs. Because I didn't start school all the way, but I had to wait for like 2 months to like settle in and then like look for a house and stuff like that. And then so for that 2 months, I practiced with my brother speaking English. And after that, at school, it was like awkward almost because like everyone was talking in a different accent, because like we're used to English here in Malaysia where it's like Malay English, like gola, like that. So I didn't hear that, and then I started talking English, Malay English, but then they started to like wonder what kind of English I was using, and I told it was Malay English. But then for like about 3 months into school, I started to pick up the accent, but it was like not as right now. This accent is like as 4 years. It was not hard. It was not hard, but you had the key was to speak every single day, and to hear what they're saying, and then you like eventually you'll pick up from time to time, and then from like you can say 3 in Malay it's 3, right? You guys call it 3, but it's actually tree. And then I learned it's actually like some things there's like. So in Al-Quran you have that like tajweed, right? But in English there's also that thing, also like tajweed but in English. But yeah, actually for me to pick up the accent, it wasn't hard, but almost 3 months I could pick up the accent a little bit. But then after that, just speaking with my brother and then my mom and my dad and then my little sister and then all the way my friends. So yeah, because at school, no, it's not in Malaysia. Our school hours is 8 to 4. So there's like a lot of time for us to speak, and then we actually have a speaking class. We have speaking class so that class we can like we learn about like how to speak in certain ways, and then there's language classes like that. So.
Okay, so that's all. Thank you for spending your time here.
Alright, you're welcome.
Okay.
Language learning, on the other hand, is the result of direct instruction in the rules of language. Language learning is not an age-appropriate activity for very young children, as learning presupposes that learners have a conscious knowledge of the new language and can talk about that knowledge. They usually have a basic knowledge of the grammar. To learn is connected with memorizing, studying, and being informed. As an example, students learn school subjects to remember various facts and details. So, the first method that we use to learn language is learning through imitation. Through imitation is a major source of child speech production, come from studies of structures used by young children. They may repeat single words or phrases but not the entire sentence structures. As an example, the sentence is, "The dogs are hungry." The child will not repeat the entire sentence. Instead, the child will say, "Dog hungry." It shows that the child understands what he is saying, but he uses his own way to express what he understands.
It is also unlikely that adults' correction are a very effective determiner of how the child speaks.
Even when the correction is attempted in a subtle manner, the child will continue to use a personally constructed form despite the adult's repetition of what the correct form should be.
Today, Azri and I will explain the differences between language acquisition and language learning.
For language acquisition, it's an unconscious process because they didn't realize they get their first language. And for language learning, it is an intentional process because they want to learn the language. Next, language acquisition does not involve teaching because it happens naturally. And for language learning, it involves teaching because they learn the language from the teacher.
Also, during language acquisition process, The children control the pace since the children will acquire the language on their own, while for language learning, the teacher controls the pace since the teacher will help the children to learn about the language. So, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys can clearly understand and differentiate between language acquisition and language learning.
Thank you for watching. I hope you like this video.
Don't forget to give thumbs up and leave the comment down below.
Alright guys, peace out, thank you, let's go.